the Jason Podcast. This is Jason Podcast 2, and today I'm going to be discussing the topic of advanced room acoustics with Jason Sanger.
Hey everyone, it's great to be back. So what are room acoustics?
It's like how studios are super quiet in there and how concert halls make the music sound really good.
Okay, gotcha.
So basically, I'm going to explain what exactly goes into making the spaces sound good.
Yeah, how's that work?
So the materials used in the walls and ceilings and floor all matters.
All of it?
All of it. There are two main terms used to describe what certain spaces are doing. The first is dampening, and the second is amplifying.
Man, I'm already lost.
Alright, well, dampening means that the space is absorbing sound, and amplifying means that, well, sound is being amplified or being made louder. A lot of today's restaurants make the mistake of causing dining areas to be very loud, and they amplify sounds that come from, say, people speaking, or a fork tapping on a dish, or maybe even a chair being pushed in.
Yeah, man, I hate it when I go to a crowded restaurant and it's super loud in there. I can't even hear the person sitting right in front of me.
Exactly. That's the exact same issue that I have. Now, I can move on and tell you what makes music studios sound good and restaurants sound bad.
Alright.
So, there are a couple of aspects that play part in room acoustics. One is the materials used in the walls, floors, and ceilings. One is the room modes, and the third is the room envelope.
What's a room envelope?
I'll get to that later.
Just tell me now.
No, I'll tell you when I get there, so it'll be on your mind.
Okay.
Alright, so the softer materials usually will dampen sound. Stuff like soft wood, couches, and drapes are all great for dampening. This is why you can usually see acoustic foam in music studios and in some auditoriums. Also, if you see any music creators on YouTube, a lot of times they will have couches and curtains and stuff in their recording spaces.
That makes sense. Hard stuff amplifies and soft stuff dampens.
For the most part.
What was you were saying about the wall sizing amplifying sound?
If a room is rectangular, we can use the height of the ceiling from the floor in the formula frequency equals the speed of sound over wavelength. In these cases, there will be a resonant pitch that is amplified. In this case, it would be the pitch that occurs at 70 hertz or a sharp C-sharp 2 whenever the wall is 8 feet from the floor to the ceiling. This wavelength would also be about 498 centimeters. The same thing will happen for the length and the width of the room as well.
Geez, that's really complicated.
Yep, and there's more to it too, but you've got the basic idea.
Alright, so what's that room envelope thing you were talking about?
Right, so a room envelope is the area outside of a room or between two rooms. The reason this is important is because with a poor room envelope, there could be a lot of sound coming from a performance room into an adjacent room, or even worse, sounds coming into a performance room from an outside room. A good room envelope can completely soundproof a room if done correctly.
So, what is it that happens with room envelopes that can soundproof a room? Because I'm pretty sure the ceilings are razor thin the way I can hear the neighbors stomping in my dorm room.
So basically, when a wall is being built, some dampening stuff can be put behind it to absorb the sound, such as soundboards. The most important part of this, however, is that the room must be totally airtight so that no stray sounds can enter or exit the room. If there is even the slightest gap under the door, the entire effect will be just ruined. Alright, thank you to everyone listening today. I hope you learned something, and I give a huge thanks to Jason Sanger for his time.
Of course.
And him listening to make this podcast happen. Bye-bye.
Sure, it was great to be here. See you.